Hey, good morning. I'm gonna create this video, kind of just talk a little bit about the build I'm doing on my 2003 Honda Accord. It's a DX sedan, 4-cylinder, automatic. It started out basically a full car. I had it for my daughter for about 4 years. We got upgraded her a car. So this car was just kind of sitting around, so I decided to do a little work on it, and one thing led to another. I've kind of got it stripped down and going to do a custom build on it, at least in my view, a custom build for myself. So pretty much have disassembled most of the interior and started doing a little bit of work on the exterior, removing pieces and parts that I could remove. I shaved all of the side molding, and also, if you notice, I shaved the stainless trim around the tops of the door rails, and that's not an easy thing to do because in each one of the corners here, and over here, there is a gap in the door channel. So what I wind up doing is taking the clips that are on the end of the stainless trim and doing some creative work and epoxied them on there, and then basically went through and Dynaglassed and did a little filler work on those, and it's just kind of beginning stages. I'm not done yet. If you notice, I've got the door handles out. I'm doing a color change on it, actually doing a two-tone on it, and the goal hopefully is to do a spoon racing colors, the yellow and the blue, the Phoenix yellow, and the blue, of course, is a spoon color, but I've got a color close to it that I'm going to use, and I'm going to do the graphics, and it will be painted. It's not going to be decals. And so far I've kind of got around the trunk. I've actually set up and did my holes for, I've got a CL7 Euro R rear spoiler. Basically it's molded, it says TSX on it, but it's actually a Euro R spoiler. I had to build these adapters. They're 3/4 inch. I basically took a piece of ABS plastic I had and a Harbor Freight plastic welding knife, I guess you'd call it, and kind of built those. Had to make some adapter bolts in there to make that fit, because when you shut the lid of the trunk, it was very close to the quarter panel. So I had to build the spacer to do that. Of course, the third hole is for the wire for the LED. The other thing I have on here is I was able to scab from a friend of mine that does JDM. He's kind of got a dismantling, does a lot of Hondas and Acura. The exhaust is a full stainless MagnaFlow catback off of an 0866. The only difference, the resonator was removed and had a straight pipe through there, and $300 was a good deal. Buddy of mine, we put it up on the lift, had it over to shop, and we had to basically cut, because the exhaust is smaller on the 4-banger than it is on the 6. Couldn't use the flange to bolt on direct, so we cut the flanges on the new exhaust and adapted, basically sleeved over the 4-cylinder exhaust, and had to, the MagnaFlow is a bolt-on clamp system, so it's pretty easy to reassemble. We just had to fabricate our own hangers and weld some tabs on there to make it work. This is pretty much parked right over here, stuff I've taken off the car. That's pretty much all of the interior pieces. I found a trunk lid cover for the inside at the junkyard. I have I have Honda hybrid mirrors disassembled for repainting with the LED turn signals. I found one at the junkyard, and I had two I already purchased from another junkyard. So I'm using two good cores because one had a bad plastic crack in it. The other thing I did recently was I acquired a set of 2014 Toyota FRS seats, and basically stripped all the wiring I don't need. What we did do is we cut the tabs off of the Honda seats and had to basically create our measurements, and had a buddy of mine come by and weld with his little wire welder and put a little black paint on them. I'll do a little bit of adjustment. I'm gonna get them in the car and probably have to use a couple of washers for the front ones just to make sure they fit tight. They look pretty good. The other thing I have done on the car recently was I built some custom taillights using the factory taillights. So this was a little bit of work. The taillight assembly itself, I'm going to body color. The lights are 5 1/4 inch LED. They have halos. Brake lights are here. Double row halos. The turn signals are sequential. And they're directional. So they go one direction, left or right, depending on how you put the bulb in there. I used basically a whole knockout adapter, a lot of air Dremel tools, die grinder tools to get it to fit. You have to basically disassemble the inside, basically the guts of the light assembly to make it work. I'll body work the panels a little better on these when I paint them. And then when I go to reassemble, I'll mount those. They go from the inside out. I'll seal the insides of the lights and wire them up accordingly for the factory lights. I also have LED pods that are going to go here for the reverse lights. I removed my reverse lights. I'm not using those, so I have those there where the license plate will go. I'm going to disable the brake light in the back because the Euro R has a LED, red LED. I'll use that. Some of the other things I'm doing with this is I have 2 sets of headlights for it that I purchased. I've got OEM, which are the clear. I also have a set of aftermarket, which have the black, which I think some people are doing this on their Hondas. I like the contrast with the black versus the chrome. I have full LED lights for all of these. Hikari high beam, low beam, LED turn signals, which are extremely bright. I also am going to be running the JDM style fog lights. I actually have the JDM ambers, and I have a different set, which are the round ones, which I chose not to use. Also have I'm going to be upgrading to a 2006 front bumper with the fog lights. Also the Honda, I guess HFP lip spoiler, which I think is pretty common on all these cars everybody's running. The rear bumper, I actually had already done my work to cut out the bottom sections to fit the exhaust because the MagnaFlow are 4-inch tips. The other thing I did is I built a custom lower grill insert versus the plastic one that goes in the bumper. I built this out of basically wire mesh and some aluminum. I'm going to paint that black. Also on the upgrade, because I had to go to 06 bumper, had to buy all the pieces. I basically molded in the wire mesh on the back to work with the front lower bumper and all the pieces with it. This was just some test things I was doing with the headlights, taking them apart, seeing what they look like on the inside. One of the other things I have here is iBox, the Pro. I think these are the Pro kit. They're 1 point something front and rear, and I have full complete suspension, everything, upper lower control arm, fully loaded, tie rod ends. Only left to do is I have to get the spindle with the loaded hub. I have brand new CV axles, all the boots. I have GR2 KYBs complete with all of the pieces that go into the strut assembly to rebuild the front. I have brand new accurate TLS sway bars front and rear with the in links, which I got from Heel Toe. Under the hood, I added the well, let me open up the door here real quick. Let me get in here, open up. Sorry about that. I added the Accord 0666 upper strut rod bar. It is a direct fit. The only thing you have to do is you have to drill a new hole there. If you see that new bolt, you have to run a different bolt there for the wire harness, or excuse me, that's for the throttle cable assembly, I think those are. And it's a different setup because it's a 6-cylinder car. So that's a direct bolt in, back in the back. And our plan is to paint that and paint a few parts under the hood. The color, I have the paint already. So basically, if you know the spoon, the number 91, I guess it's the 03 Euro R. The spoon racing colors are blue on the front with basically the barrier, the little stripes in here, and the rest of the car is Phoenix yellow. I'm going to do closely to that, resemble that as possible. I also have brake stop, new rotors, pads, powder coated red calipers, stainless lines for the front. So I'm doing a couple, like I said, a few custom things. One of the things I have on here is, let me move some stuff around here. Give me a second. I had to move my table around yesterday and I moved a bunch of crap off of there. It was a pain in the butt, but I've had a few this is always fun. And the fun part is picking all this stuff back up again. Yeah, we're expecting some bad weather here in a little while this afternoon, so I've had to keep the door shut on the garage. Sorry about this. All right, here's the wheels that are going on the car. If you're familiar with these are the 2019 Sport 19-inch by 8.5. Basically, I got these from a lady that took them off her car, and they upgraded the wheels. One of the wheels had real bad curbage on it, on the edges, where the edge of the shiny part is. And I was able to repair that one. A little bit of filing into metalwork. I shot these in Toyota Super White, which is basically supposed to be the brightest white you can get. I like the Type R look. So the center cap pieces pop out of the center of the cap. So I painted those bright red. They're clear coated. I still have some little bit of work to do on the wet sanding, and I have factory size tires. These are the Westlakes. I think these are the Z rated. They're 235, 35 19s. Got a pretty good deal through those in discount tire. They got a nice look to them. They should look pretty good on the car. I've seen some pictures of these wheels, type of wheel on these cars. And I have black lug nuts that will go on there. But that's kind of the deal here on the car. Let me show you a couple of pictures of the lights. So I'll turn the parking lights on. So the parking lights I have turned on with the new LEDs. So I was going kind of for I like a skyline look tail light. That was kind of the theme. And I wanted something very JDM centric. So, of course, when these are painted, you should not see this because I'm going to back mask the inside, so you shouldn't get that reflection inside the lens. Right now, it's hollow in there. Okay, those are the parking lights, which basically these lights are set up for DRL, daylight running lights. I use them as my parking lights because I don't have daytime running lights on mine. I'll turn on the emergency flasher because the turn signals are still hyper flashing because I haven't run the ballast resistors in there yet. So if you look at the turn signals, they're directional on both sides. And I'll turn those off. And I have to kind of put my little piece of pipe in here to run the brake light so you can see this. Give me a second here. This is a little fun here to do this. Sorry, this is the old LED light in there. It's green. Those will be changing. Okay. Oops. This is not fun. Got it to work yesterday. Now it's being a pain in the ass. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit. All right, hope it'll hold for a second here. All right, here's motherfucker. Sorry about that. Brake lights. Brake lights are the center bulbs. The halos are not lit, it's just basically the center bulb. So it's going to be pretty bright with the halos and the brake lights. That light will be disabled. I'll run the wire to the rear R spoiler. Well, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to probably do some more body work here once the weather conditions get a little better here next couple days. But let me know what you think. And I'll post some more things as I continue on my build, and hopefully get some body work done here and get her in primer here soon so I can start prepping her for paint. Yes, and I'm doing all the work myself. I'm not a body man. I am not a mechanic. I'm a hobbyist, and I'm just kind of playing around doing something different. I'll talk to you later. Bye.